The following program is rated G. It is suitable for all audiences.
Good day, the honorable adjudicators, debaters, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Angelica May Tamami. Welcome to the first round of today's debate. Is math invented or discovered? For our first team, we have Andrea and Trisha, who will argue that math is invented. On the other hand, the team of Roger and Carl will counter-argue that math is discovered. Brace yourself as we witness these two teams defend and argue their respective sides. To start, let us have the first team, Andrea and Trisha. The floor is now yours.
We believe that math is invented because, as we know, most of the formulas and theories surrounding math are invented by known scientists, such as Isaac Newton, who developed the basics of calculus. These scientists developed mathematical equations to be used as an effective tool for calculation and measurements. The mathematical concepts and methods we use are invented by scientists and mathematicians for us to solve different problems and understand the world around us.
When the Egyptian pyramid was built, it was created by geometric and surveying skills by the makers. The Rhiine Papyrus and Moscow Papyrus are the greatest known written sources of ancient Egyptian mathematics. The sources provide undeniable evidence that the later Egyptians had intermediate knowledge of the following mathematical problem.
To counter-argue, if math were discovered rather than invented, there should be a universal agreement among all cultures regarding its concepts. Mathematics is a product of the conscious minds of humans to rationalize nature. It is used as a language or tool to make designs and structures through geometry and functions for the universe.
On the other hand, we believe that math wasn't invented, it is discovered. Math has been present long before man ever invented the first mathematical symbol. As long as there is nature and natural events, there is math. Math always exists, it always there. Pero to think truly of something that exists, one must find reason, how, why, and what are the fundamentals. If we go through the historical evidence and time, basic mathematical concepts like numbers and arithmetic were devised to facilitate accounting for the surplus production and distribution of goods and essential items, eventually starting trade between communities. And Mesopotamia were the first to use mathematics. Therefore, it possibly that math wasn't invented, but rather that people simply discovered it, just as we do with other scientific disciplines.
Oh, what an interesting way to start our debate. As you have witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, the two teams have incredible insights about their sides and were able to provide evidentiary support to strengthen their arguments. But before we hop into the next round, here's a quick break from our sponsors.
Bagong biyak ng buko, ang sarap nito, nes fruta buko, why not? Coconut, no artificial color, real na real. Keep it real, lasting real na buko. Nes fruta buko, real na real. Also available in mangosteen.
Yan! So, welcome back everyone to our debate. To begin our next round, let us have the second team, Roger and Carl. The floor is now yours.
Nevertheless, the opposing team claims that mathematics is merely invented, as theories and methods were created only by scientists and mathematicians. First of all, we consider the works of these mentioned individuals. However, it is stated from the study of Ernest that the absolute view of mathematics sees it as universal, objective, and certain, with mathematical truths being discovered through the intuition of mathematicians. This statement allowed us to argue that mathematics is long existing. While mathematicians did not invent math, they were rather instruments that discovered the truth along with mathematics.
In late 17th century, Isaac Newton and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz introduced the concepts of derivatives and integrals. It allows mathematicians to further study the motion, change, and other problems more accurately. Algebra and calculus are two mathematics that were invented by notable people and significantly impacted human civilization throughout history up to until now.
To counter-argue one of your statements, you already said that basic mathematical concepts like numbers and arithmetic were devised to facilitate accounting for the surplus production and distribution of goods, and this, as you said, is based on history. Humans without the need for a tool like mathematics wouldn't invent it in the first place. If there is no problem that requires math, then what is the purpose of it? And just because some mathematical concepts and ideas were successful after it was put to test in the real world does not necessarily prove that math was a discovery. And if indeed it was discovered, then who discovered math?
And that's it for our second round. The two teams were able to expertly provide insights and evidence that support their arguments. To finally conclude today's debate, each team will be given some time to say their final words that will wrap up their arguments. Team number 1, you may begin.
To reiterate and to further solidify our side, we believe that mathematics is invented because of the need of humans to understand the world it lives in. We need a powerful tool that will help us solve various problems, hence the existence of mathematics.
As for our side, we believe that math is discovered as it existed long before the rise of early civilizations. Mathematics played a major role in the creation and nature of the universe, as well as other phenomena encompassing our daily lives. For ages, humans have conducted activities without understanding its role, not until it was subsequently discovered by intellectual curiosity.
And that concludes today's debate. Is math invented or discovered? It's now up to you, dear ladies and gentlemen, to decide which team was able to argue their side effectively. Again, I am your host, Angelica, and see you at our next debate. So, after doing the task, here are some questions that you answered. First, how did you come up with the idea? So first, by choosing what task we're going to do, and after voting between ask, skip, or debate, it's already time to distribute the role we're going to play out. Second, how did you plan your task? Since the majority wins chose the debate, my co-members started to find some relevant articles that might support or help their arguments. Did you get any help or support? Yes, and we get that support from each other because we cannot finish this task if we didn't work as a group. In addition, Andrea helped me to write my script. For the second question, what are the challenges you encountered while doing this task? So the challenges that I encountered was when I started recording, there's a noise from the outside of my room. And syempre, masasama yun sa recording, so it caused me to start the recording all over again. And for the last question, what are your contributions in the Peta? So my contribution, I volunteered as a host since our chosen task is debate. And that's all.
In deciding the task we will do, we decided to conduct a poll, and whatever the majority chooses, that's what we will follow. I didn't receive any support from friends or family while doing this task. However, I did receive help from my groupmates. I did encounter one challenge, which is my other tasks from other subjects with earlier deadlines. And my contribution in this output is that I initiated the poll, wrote my own answer for the debate, and encouraged everyone to participate.
To come up with the idea, I first identified the needed attention and conducted research for me to be able to answer the questions and support my ideas with evidences. I didn't get any support from my family or friends since after generating my ideas, I was able to create a detailed task plan, and as a member, I have consistently participated and offer my insightful arguments or counter-arguments in this.
To come up with the idea, we first conducted a vote before we decided on the debate and doing a research to better comprehend the underlying notion and hunt for a foundation to support the information that I will provide. Since I was aware of what to do, I didn't ask for help from others. The only problem I had was not using time management, which made chores harder for me. And as a part of the group, my contribution consists of cooperating and sharing the information I had found.
First, we came up with a plan of having a debate that was inspired from virtual talk shows. As such, we planned this task by having a group effort. I did receive help from my groupmates as well as sources from the internet. Second, I find it challenging to manage my time in line with this task as there are other tasks that are needed to be done. Lastly, I contributed on the editing and I also provided my arguments on making this task a successful one.